Well, hello there again. 23 Monkey Boots here. Um, my first video was just an introduction. Hold on. Next one. Anyways, so I had this introduction. Just kind of told you about, me and my starting my record collection again, and just basically, a little bit of advice for anybody just starting it. But I just wanted to show you guys some things I've actually recently acquired and some things that I've had. What's playing right now is I bought this when I was really young. This is Beck, One Foot in the Grave. Really great acoustic record. It was released on K Records, so that in itself is interesting. It's really different. It's more folky, blues based. Really good record. I really enjoy this one. Really thick vinyl too. I was really surprised when I was going back through and looking at my little collection here and took a look at it. I was really, really, really impressed with how thick the vinyl was. But it's a good record. So that's what's playing now. I'm a big Nirvana fan. So of course, Incesticide, which I did buy when it came out, actually. I tripped out on this one because when I bought it, I didn't know it was blue swirl vinyl. Of course, I think there was a sticker on it that said it was, but of course I don't remember. It's not there anymore. But Nirvana fan too. Love their music. So yeah, something a little more recent that I picked up. I'm a big Jimi fan, Jimi Hendrix. Found this reissue. This is his second album, Axis, but it's a French version. It's an import. And this is the way it was, if you guys can see it. This is the way it was released then. Matter of fact, when this album originally came out, we all know the standard cover with him and the other two members and the kind of Indian thing with the gatefold. I have that one too, but I figured this one was kind of unique because when they did release it back then, out in France, and I think Belgium too, they replaced that cover with them, just with this cover here, because they felt it was, I don't know, like offensive, or they didn't understand it or something. I don't know. But yeah, this is unopened, and it's never going to be opened. It's stereo and mono too, which is interesting. But yeah, so I found this. This is great. I love this. Now, I am also too a Beatles fan. A lot of Beatles CDs, but this one here I bought when I was probably 11 or 12 years old. It's going back to me being young. But Beatles at the Hollywood Bowl. This is a great record. This is a reissue as well. Actually, I was really surprised that when I did look at this and I found it when I was young, it was actually you could go into a music shop and buy records. I think it was a Licorice Pizza. If any of you guys been up to California, it might even been a Sam Goody, but I thought this was some kind of joke, when I first saw it. I'm like, really? And I flipped it over, read some of the stuff on the back, and George Martin wrote the notes on the back. So, well, it must be good, So, it's actually a really cool piece of history. I'm surprised they have not put this on CD yet. Gatefold. Very, very cool. Your sleeve. It's pretty cool. I'm really surprised they haven't put this out because it's really for a live recording, one of the only live recordings that they actually cleaned up that was presentable. It's actually a really good record. I mean, back then they didn't have any of those, no inner ear monitoring, no those wedge speakers, and all the fans screaming their heads off, and these guys were a great little rock band back then. They're still a great band, but I was blown away, literally blown away when I heard this. And doesn't get that many spins, but it's a great little piece of history, and I think they should re-release it. And then, of course, more Beatles stuff, the White Album. Of course, should be a staple in most people's collections. The original pressing of the White Album. Sonically, it's different than a lot of the reissues and a lot of the other things they've done. I always try to find, especially with older stuff, I try to find first pressings if I can, only because it sounds different. Like I say, back then when they would do these records, they had the machine that cut the record in the studio, or somewhere in the studio. So they would get done with mastering or whatever on the tape, and they would send it off to an engineer. Engineer would place down the I guess you would call it acetate or master, and my cat. Anyway, sorry. And they would cut the record in the studio. So for me, this is like it went from the band's ears to directly down to this master disc that got sent off for pressing. And this does sound different. It sounds really different. I have more Beatles stuff, but I don't want to make this a Beatles video, as it were. Another record is more recent, Soundgarden, Down on the Upside. Bought this one, it was new when it came out. It's a great record as well. Double album, gatefold sleeve, or gatefold. I like this one because it had Pretty Noose was a great song, I loved it. Blow Up the Outside World. A lot of really good songs on this. Rhinosaur, another great song. Good record from them. It's too bad they're not around anymore, This is another one from my youth. This is Smashing Pumpkins, Melancholy and Infinite Sadness. For me, I think growing up, I was in my early 20s when this came out, probably about 21, 22. This was like my Sgt. Pepper. I mean, I thought this was a phenomenal album. Really well done. And I found this in a record store. Really shocked that they even had it on vinyl. And it paid about as much as a double record would be normally. This is imported from England. Has a great color booklet on the inside with the lyrics. It's 3 records. They added an extra track. They went in and they actually changed the way the track sequencing went compared to the CD. I have a CD too, but this is amazing. And I'm glad I still have on to it. It's awesome art. I love this style of artwork. And it's just a beautiful, beautiful record. The way it was laid out, the presentation, just wonderful, wonderful record. Of course, today I did buy a few records today. I'm not the biggest Rolling Stones fan. I do like their music. I did find this actually for a really good price. Hot Rocks, Best Of, double record. Great album if you... I think for any band that you may like, if they have a greatest hits collection, you should definitely pick them up. Because this is a gatefold as well. Has a lot of really their hits that I really enjoy. So I picked this up. Like I said, great price, great record. Can't go wrong. And then, of course, picked up some punk today. The Adolescents. Great band, great punk record. I have a few punk records in my collection that I'll eventually start showing you guys and stuff. But this is a really good punk band, early 80s. They had really great melodies and stuff like that. Really enjoyed this record. And picked up the single, that's a DRI single. Another great punk band. not a big single guy. Well, I am a single guy, but not a big single buyer guy, I guess you could call it. I'm not a. But I saw this. I thought it was really neat. It's red vinyl. Actually, they really took some care in doing this. Of course, you have the record. I'm getting used to this camera too. The record. So I thought this was kind of neat when I saw it. Oh, red vinyl, beautiful, and great artwork, great cover. I love this cover. And on the inside too, it opens up and you have the lyrics to some of the songs on there. And you have this here. Great punk band for the time. Of course, when I first heard them growing up, I didn't know what to think of them. They were like these guys that would do, gosh, I have like their second record. I think it has like 30 songs on it in under like a half an hour. It's insane. Of course, I'm exaggerating, but still, their songs are fast and to the point. Really like this stuff. And then, of course, if you guys saw my last video, I had to pick this one up too. Men at Work, Cargo. So yeah, so that's just a few. I'll be showing a few more as time goes on. Yeah, so along with the introduction, I wanted to just kind of share a little more of what I have, what my tastes are. Like I said earlier, it's probably the third time I've repeated it, but like, if you're just starting out and you have your record player, you have your little setup, whatever, like I do, just go with what you like. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be like the Beatles butcher cover record. You don't have to drop $3-4 grand to buy a record. Go into your local shop. I mean, I'm lucky. I live in Southern California. There's quite a few around here. There's two that I go to. And I love walking into those places and spending hours there. And go with, what you like. It could be something as simple as like Men at Work, or it could be anything, I mean, there's also other places you can get them. eBay is another good spot. Just whatever. Like, instead of thinking about, oh, I remember that band and this album, instead of going to iTunes and trying to find it, look for it online. Go down to, if you have local record shops, go to a local record shop. You can find it. Just pick it up. I think they're great. Nothing beats holding the record in your hand. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say, and I'll be talking to you guys soon. Take care, everybody, and yeah, man, keep this up. This is great. All right, see ya.